Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It's Miriam Kramer with Point Your Compass. And
Hey, I'm Heather. Heather Botkin with Woke.Ones.Revolution. Good to see you guys.
we have decided amongst us that all of this spirituality needs some roots. And we're trying to make all of this relatable to real life because it can get confusing. It's the way that it is. It took both Heather and I many years to be able to spot it in our world just because of the lingo. And the lingo can be a little strange. So, what we're trying to do in this particular podcast is look at some of the new discoveries, some of the, and this sort of news stuff that we're looking at, it's not political, it's more interesting, new technology or new findings or new archaeology, new geographical stuff, because we do have the continent, the plates of the earth, tectonics, they're shifting. And so now we have a whole new continent over there, and now we have a whole new mountain range over there. So it's those types of topics that we're pulling up today. Some of it is crazy, and some of it is not so crazy. But when we look at these articles and we talk about them, the point is to be able to relate this to zodiacal energy, because the zodiac signs have, man, it's just so many definitions attached to each one, right?
100%. 100%. I mean, any interaction I have during the day, after, tuning myself into doing this, I turn around and I notice, that's Taurus energy,
Yeah.
that's some Virgo energy, etc.
Right.
So it helps be able to decipher things so much easier. It's really cool.
Right. Like you're standing in line in the grocery store and the lady in front of you is pulling a Karen, and you're standing there going, dude, this person's got to have a lot of XYZ, in
Yeah,
their
right,
chart.
right.
Or you see a child like a baby doing some stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing, Scorpio. Little
Yeah,
Scorpio. I got
right.
you. I got you.
Sneaky,
But I mean,
sneaky.
the cool part about this, Heather, is that if you have knowledge of astrology, I'm really huge on this. Really huge on this. A lot of the bickering and a lot of the fighting and the conflicts that go on only go on because we misunderstand each other.
That's
You
right.
know, if we use astrology as a backdrop, then it's much easier to look at the transits or to look at the person and be like, oh, it's a full moon today. I know that you get cranky on a full moon, so I'm just going to go sit in another room. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that we can accept each other better
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
more grace.
Definitely makes this whole game called life a little funner and less stressful to do on a daily, for sure.
Yeah,
Like you just use that example of, if you notice your spouse that is always really frustrated during certain moon phase, you can see that moon phase coming and know when to give that. There's that word grace, just
grace, a little more
grace.
grace, a little more space.
Exactly.
You're going to give them grace
Exactly.
and some space.
Exactly.
I'll see you in 2.5 days.
That's right. That's right.
No, I love that's what I love about the evolutionary astrology field part with Jeffrey Green. He was the founder. But in my field of work, sitting with someone for a couple of hours and showing them that they're not as broken as they think they are, and to see the positives, the spiritual gifts, but also the past lives and the karmic attachments historically to this person when they came in, they give themselves grace.
Oh yeah,
And by
because
the
sometimes they don't even realize they have it, or
yeah,
that they don't see it as a special thing. And when you can see it in the chart and you name it and you go, oh,
yeah,
you do. "Oh, you're an amazing artist, aren't you?" You know, and
Yes.
they're just like, "How'd you know?"
Like,
Well, and they're like, "Really? Wow,
yeah,
I always liked it. I didn't realize
no
that."
joke.
Yeah,
And
it's
because it's their chart, you can't really fight it.
right.
You know? I'm not
Right.
talking about Jones over there. I'm talking about you.
Mm,
But I love the fact that they can understand and give themselves grace,
mm.
forgiveness, acceptance, closure. These are all the things that Heather and I work towards when we're sitting in session with someone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look at her face when she said that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a fulfilling feeling within, to actually help somebody feel seen,
Yeah,
and there's so many of us that feel invisible, and I've been there,
right.
you feel invisible with what you're dealing with or who you think you are, and nobody's seeing it, but just I've said it before and I'll say it again, it is liberating.
Liberating.
It is liberating for both myself and the person that I'm delivering the information to, because
Yeah.
that whole being seen and wow,
Even
there.
through their childhoods, because you're sitting with adults, right? And you're doing
Right.
the readings. And a portion of my field, we go through the past life karmic histories, but I have to look at your childhood, that's attached
Mhm.
to it. And so when like, here's a really good, for instance, I'm sitting with a woman, a lady friend. She became a friend like after the reading, but I'm sitting with her and I could see that she could draw. I was like, you're an excellent, like, you can draw really well, like,
Mhm.
you're an artist. And
Yeah.
she stopped and she paused and she went, I haven't pulled out my pencils and my drawing book since I was a child.
Hmm.
And I went, well, there you go.
Yeah, that was
Like,
actually, that story specifically was me.
yeah,
I took a lot of art classes, but losing my mom as young as I did, I was in just freshman in high school. I just finished my freshman year, and after that happened, I got into some more art classes, and that's how I process my emotion. Aquarius moon, so I don't
yeah,
really, that I did, my expression wasn't very, it was more music. And then it
right,
turned into the art thing. And, life happened. I had my kids and I put it all down. And one day it was actually after my aunt's funeral service, I
yeah,
decided to pick up my notebook, and it was so therapeutic. And I was like, I forgot
right,
how healing that was,
right,
and set it down for years again, and then came back probably 6 or 7 years ago and started drawing and painting. And
right,
man, the perspective that you go through in life, the older
right,
you get, it's neat because you don't even have to do a lot of practicing. It's like the way
right.
that you see things is differently. So the artwork just looks even more beautiful. So,
Yeah, I mean, I tell my people on my Patreon channel quite a bit. Whatever you earn in any lifetime, you get to keep and roll it into the next one as a special skill, as a special talent. Speaking of Aquariuses,
hmm,
a large portion of my journey, this pilgrimage, this little journey backpacking, um, I have had a series of health concerns and issues.
hmm,
And let's say that you have something like that, and it's very frustrating. You're not able to be physically the same person that you have in your head, the way that you see yourself.
hmm,
It feels like your identity is kiltered in some odd way. And in evolutionary astrology, when we sit with a chart, and we can give an explanation, because sometimes we can and sometimes we can't. I got to throw that in there. But it makes the pain more understandable
hmm.
quite a
Yeah.
bit. So I had this woman, lovely lady, and in this lifetime, she had had surgery after surgery after surgery on her joints, and her arm joints, her shoulder joints, her hip joints, her knee. And she told me some ridiculous amount of metal that she had in her body. And she was like, I have 91 metal pins holding me together. And I was like, whoa. But when I sat with her chart, and I usually sit with charts for 3 to 4 hours before the session, so I have all my homework kind of laid out. Right. And hold on real quick. Excuse me. I sat with her chart and I saw it. And when I sat with her in the conference and I looked at her in the face, I said, you're an Aquarius, and most Aquarius folks, they don't really die like a normal person would die.
Right, right.
Weirdness going on with the Aquarius. I could see that she had been alone on a trail somewhere or something, and she was attacked by a very large animal. And that animal, like a mountain lion or a bear or something, had ripped her apart. And she sat back and said, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've had all these surgeries. And a lot of people don't know that is like karmically, whether you did it to yourself or whether someone else did it to you. It doesn't matter. It's that you have to earn that karma back. You have to work that karma back. And so even though it was an animal that had ripped her to shreds, when she came into this one as an Aquarius, she had to put her physical body back together.
Yeah. Saturn helped.
Yeah, Saturn. It's like also the same way if you're in a past life and someone comes and takes your house or burns your house to the ground. In another lifetime, maybe not this one, but maybe it is, you have to go and work and earn to get your freaking house back. But these are the topics that Heather and I work on professionally. And in this session today, we're going to jump into the news. And I can't.
I'm excited. I have no idea what we're talking about, so she's gonna. I love you.
I love it. She has no clue what we're going to do.
It's okay. It's okay. I love winging it with you.
Okay, so I have no control over the little commercials and advertisements that they have on this stuff, so please bear with me. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen. And let's look at the first one, Heather. It says over 3,000 billion liters of water flooded out of a glacial lake in just 18 days. This was 2 weeks ago. This particular story is by Tom Hale over at IFL Science. You can follow them if you wish.
It's not screen sharing, by the way. I just thought I'd
let you know. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me correct that.
Interesting. So it disappeared within 18 days, huh?
Yeah, like it just went poof. Here, let me do the entire screen because I think we had a problem with that last time. There we go.
It's sharing, yes.
All right, over 3,000 billion liters, billion.
Wow.
In 18 days, there's a picture. So it says in a little over 2 weeks, more than 3,000 billion liters of water recently flooded out of an ice-dammed lake in East Greenland. It's the first time scientists have closely documented such an event, and their insights could help to uncover how outburst flooding could wreak havoc elsewhere in the world, which is why I grabbed this article.
Oh, wow.
The incident unfolded earlier this year between September 23rd and October 11th at Greenland's Catalina Lake, a pro-glacial lake that is situated in a valley blocked by the massive Edward Bailey Glacier. So, yeah, what's your take on this, lady friend?
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're just wanting to talk about
Yeah, I mean,
the
there's several things to talk about, right? Like you had all this water dammed up, and now it's just been released into all the oceans of the world.
Yeah, I mean, that could have, I mean, the first is the impact. I mean, you figure billions of gallons of water.
Billions.
I mean, that's gotta raise the sea level,
That
right? We
right
would
there,
think.
right? And if
Yeah.
you're raising the sea level,
Then lands are getting overtaken. I just saw, like, as you were saying that, I saw Florida disappearing. I
yeah,
saw,
yeah,
and
yeah,
New Orleans, like just
no,
all the,
no,
the land mass shrinking and
the land,
changing.
yeah. By
The
the way, you guys, Heather has the gift of sight. And when we do talk like this, she will channel. So just as
Okay.
an aside,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what that was. Sorry, I start seeing things coming, like I saw the land, and then of course that means that of course people are going to have to migrate. Uh,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so I mean, and then I'm seeing like the cycles of Earth, and this is a funny thing because we just had New Year's, right? And Happy
right.
New Year, everybody.
Oh,
I was just thinking about this documentary that I got shown. It was about wine and making wine and
oh, yeah,
champagne,
yeah,
and how like last year and the year before there were issues with shortages on
oh,
champagne.
really?
Yeah, but it was more so because of environmental changes of the vineyards out in Europe being dried up. The ones that you could always rely on, they
Right.
were getting dried up, and
Oh, yeah,
just by
yeah.
nature, the countries
Isn't
next
it
to it
weird how it does that?
were
Like the
becoming
countries
fruitful.
that
Yeah.
had a lot, it's like opposite. It's this swing because you're right. Places that were lush are now turning cracked,
Yeah. Yeah.
and places
Okay, now you're throwing me all over the place because now I'm seeing the Earth's rotation and the tilt and the polar shift and
you're absolutely right on target. You put 300 billion liters of glacial water is not salt water. It's fresh.
yeah, yeah. And so
So
the
the
buoyance,
salinity point, yeah, of the water is going to be all wonky bonkers, which means that natural habitats along the coastlines and the wetlands and the swamps and so on and so forth, it's going to change. You may have a lot of dead animals everywhere.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Have you seen those underwater lakes in the ocean?
oh my goodness,
And you're
yes.
talking like you're saying this, and I'm thinking about the layers of the fresh water versus the salt water.
Right. And that must, I
And
mean, yeah, it's going to kick up the bottom of the ocean in some places, and things from the deep may come out.
ooh, Piscean and Aquarian. There you go.
If I see an
And
Aquarian,
the Uranus of it suddenly just like
suddenly,
getting
boom.
let out there.
Boom.
And
Notice the word play in that article. It was 300 billion liters of water, which is Pisces.
yeah,
Also, I'm going to throw this in there for those of you that don't know. A glacier is also ruled by Pisces.
even though it's kind of almost Saturnian because you can't move those efforts,
Well, I
right?
swear to God, if you look it up,
I believe no,
if you look it up,
they,
it's Pisces energy.
it
But she's
is.
right. The sudden burst is Uranus, and the changing over of the salinity levels, that is changing over of a system. Where you're absolutely right, Saturn is involved because Saturn gets knocked kilter.
Hmm.
And Saturn has to work itself into a new system. So Uranus is kind of just went there's a mess, fix it.
But yeah, like how fat? Why? So it was at a. I guess I missed this part. Was it just a lake that the glacier had just been
No, it was
melting over?
dammed
It
up,
was
like a
dammed
bunch
up, and
of
the dam broke, or they
the
just let it
dam
out.
broke and
Oh,
it went all over the place. I also want to say, like early last week or something, one of the more famous large icebergs at one of the poles, they were tracking it and it actually broke off into the sea. So now we got more fresh water like floating around in the sea and melting. It's going to change the currents, the currents, which will change the air masses above it because, the air masses they flow like the water has current flow. So it could even change the tides.
I even just got was it this last summer that on the East Coast, especially all the waters, the temperature were in the 90 degrees.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It changes habitats because you have the wetlands and those species and animals and birds and snakes, and they're all there. But if you change the salinity level, if you raise the water, those natural places get washed out, and now all of these animals have to go find another home or build another home. But let's say that it's in the sea and you have fish that usually live on a shelf that's pretty shallow, like in the Gulf of Mexico. If you raise the water level, those fishies, they're going to get ate. They're going to get ate by some really big fish.
And I just started seeing the sharks, the sharks, the saltwater sharks coming into the inlands to where all the crocodiles are, and the crocodiles going out to sea. Weird.
Weird stuff happening. And
it's weird. That's interesting.
Anything attached to the word weird is Uranus. Just to let everybody know.
Very, very much so. Very much so.
Very, very much so.
I know this is probably a dumb thought or question, but if a glacier is big enough, if it did end up cracking and splitting, could it cause tsunamis?
Yes. Oh my goodness. You need to stop your face right now. I found that, did you remember that? I covered that over on the Patreon channel. I had found an article a couple of 2 or 3 months ago where the icebergs at the poles were creating tsunamis that were up to 636 or 38 feet high. Whoa. And we were not aware of them because that's how far away the poles are from our location. So we didn't even hear it. We didn't even see it. But it was going on, and all these scientists, I think it was 21 or something scientists around the world, when they got the marker, they have buoys out there all over the sea, and the buoy starts going off. 21 of them from different countries. They didn't care. They did not care about cultural crosshairs. They called each other up and said, Holy Mother of God, we need to jump on this and see what it's going to do right now. So it was unique in the sense of another Piscean energy where the good for all, what is good for all, and you drop all your walls immediately, and it's sort of this big, huge heart for humanity. Pisces is trying to save the species. Okay. But Pisces is also trying to respect the species with dignity and respect, So immediately that sort of action. And now that you've scared me again, let me show you the next article.
I don't remember you doing that, but it doesn't surprise me. I know you love this earth science. I know you love the earth science and all the things.
I have 2 degrees. My second degree is a Bachelor of Science in geography with a minor in social sciences. So it's a jack of all trade, master of none degree. But it's geo, which means anything in, on, or around the earth is my business. But you know what? Curiously, everybody over on the Patreon channel and you really like it.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
So, you know what? You can go gargle my beep. Okay, let me show the screen.
Open the throat.
Open the
Sorry.
Okay.
A little Super Troopers reference if you didn't get it.
Okay, sorry about the ads. This one again is from IFL Science. It says flat earthers, the people that believe the earth is flat, travel to Antarctica to test theories, but are quickly humbled. Look at this picture.
I know it.
So a group of flat earthers has ventured to the southernmost land of Antarctica in an attempt to end the debate over the shape of the earth. Although we're pretty sure that was already achieved by astronomers from ancient Greece and Islamic Golden Age, the Renaissance, etc., etc. The trip was part of a project called The Final Experiment, organized by Will Duffy, a pastor from Colorado who hopes to end the debate over the shape of the earth. He set up an expedition whereby 4 flat earthers and 4 globe earthers were flown to Antarctica to witness the continent's midnight sun. So without going into like the really long explanation here, because they always do that. And then they stick something in the middle, like the actual stuff. It says, hold on. I created the final experiment to end this debate once and for all. After we go to Antarctica, no one has to waste any more time debating the shape of the earth, Duffy said in a statement. Of course, this assumes the whole experiment isn't an elaborate hoax aimed to tricking us globe earthers. That seemed highly unlikely, but we'll let you know if anything changes. Not to sound conspiratorial or paranoid. So while most of the flat earthers didn't consider the experience definitive proof that the earth is spherical, they accepted the existence of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, a phenomenon that poses significant challenges for most of their flat earth theories. And Duffy said, sometimes you are wrong in life. I thought there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it, said Jaran Campanella. Excuse me, that reference was wrong. That's from Jaran Campanella, a well-known flat earther and content creator, she says in this video that's attached to the link. She says, I realize that I'll be called a shill for just saying that. And you know what? If you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly believed there was no 24-hour sun. I honestly now believe there is. And that's it, he added. How you feeling about that one?
Oh my gosh, that Pluto's Sag. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm seeing Sagittarius all over it. The Sag Gemini axis, Gemini, if you think about the gathering of information, it's mercurial, right? Gathering all these things, and then Sag on the other side wanting to explore it, and then getting on that wrong vibe of, hey, the earth is flat. You see this line back here?
Well, yeah, I mean,
the earth's flat. And that's what I saw, and then I was thinking about the Aquarius side of it. The Uranians.
Two groups. Aquarian.
Yeah. So the Aquarian side of it, as far as getting in and doing the science, doing the experimenting. Yes, and looking for the facts, and then of course you've got the Virgo on
the axes. It's like
the axis, so
it's the Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini axes, because Pisces is what's in our head. Our fantasy, what we think it is, right?
And Virgo gathers the real facts.
Data comes from Gemini, but Virgo sets the parameters for the experiment.
Yeah. You come to Antarctica.
Right? They do this huge travel thing with 2 different groups, Uranus, Aquarius.
Yeah.
And now they stand there, and This is why I was laughing so hard. The Leo, the sun, the Leo.
Yeah, the sun. Yep. Yeah. The Aquarius
like
Leo.
Leo thing, right? But they walk in huge and bright, and everybody shuts up and just watches the dang Leo walk across the room.
Like, for 24 hours straight.
For 24 hours.
Oh yeah, and then you got the whole Uranus, but then of course you got to add in just the tidbit of we're talking about Aquarius. Two rulers, Saturn, Uranus, right? Uranus is the modern day ruler, and where's Uranus at? Oh, he's in Taurus right now, and he's edging in the very ass end of Taurus, and Taurus is Earth.
It's a transit that takes Uranus will go through a zodiac sign roughly 7 to 8 years, depending on how many retrogrades happen. But she's talking about Uranus has been in Taurus for a bit now, and we have like just a few more months left before it goes into Gemini. That's what she's talking about. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, that was it. I mean, just Taurus is Earth. Taurus is the Earth sign. It is. It's like if you just talked about plate tectonics is Uranus Taurus. Like if you think about Earth moving, how everything functions and everything, and you figure Uranus, that is the tower card in the tarot. Uranus is electricity, innovative, and change, and all the things in Taurus.
Right? You got to picture that the Sag energy brought them two different groups to Antarctica, right? And so Taurus is the actual earth under their feet. And so you got to look at their faces. You got to close your eyes. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes.
Don't close your eyes. Yeah.
But you have to picture in your head the actual expression of a Taurus and then a Virgo who's going to be black and white. There will be no expression. A Virgo will be neutral as everyone's watching this. Mm-hmm. The Aquarius is watching, and the longer that it gets, an Aquarius watching a Leo, you have to see the facial expression, because an Aquarius's expression is going to look more, what is that expression where it's like they get a little more annoyed?
Oh, it's cold.
It's a little more annoyed.
Yeah.
A little more.
Oh, the resting bitch face. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and Leo is like, I shine.
That's funny.
Article and I was like, oh my gosh, I about died.
And you're talking about Pisces, Virgo, Sag, Gemini. That's all very mutable. So as the earth changes, you've got to be willing to change your opinions on some things.
This next article is exactly what you were just talking about with Uranus and Taurus.
Okay.
Look at this nonsense. I saw this and I was like, holy mother of all things holy, because a bunch of Reiki people are going to get real happy about this one.
Okay.
Another article from IFL Science. It says snowflake obsidian, an aptly festive rock.
It's like a Dalmatian.
Earth's volcanic eruptions. Yeah, it's the obsidian that is peppered. It's like,
I have several pieces of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. I gotta. All right, I'm going to read the first paragraph and then I got to find the other one. Snowflake obsidian is a form of volcanic glass that features white or grayish snowflake shapes made of embedded cristobalite. These pretty patterns are not artificially added as cheap holiday gimmick. They're a natural consequence of the unique geological forces that create the material. Okay, and then it goes into the snowflake's properties. There is a section down here, a few paragraphs for the Reiki folks, if you want to talk about the healing properties of it. But the whole point of the article was that now that we've had all these volcanic eruptions around the earth this year, there's a whole bunch of this stuff now for the Reiki people. Like you can just go out there with a basket, man, knock your socks off.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
thought you would find that interesting
I
because
do.
you have something under the surface that is a liquid that is moving, and that's Scorpio energy. Okay, there's
Mm.
Scorpio energy is the hidden fluid
Magma. Magma. The
magma,
heat of Mars. Scorpio also
right?
has two different rulers, Mars and Pluto. Mars is
Right.
hot. Magma
And
is
so
hidden under.
Taurus
Wow.
is covering it, right? Scorpio is moving underneath and hidden
Mm-hmm.
until the day that its opposition point, its opposite Scorpio, is Uranus and Taurus.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
all over the place.
That
So,
that is very true. That is very Uranus and Taurus.
right?
Earthquakes, volcano eruptions. Yes.
I just
Yes.
thought it was cool. All of us
It-
is gonna we're gonna be able to get a chunk of this at a really cheap price now,
some
folks.
beautiful volcanic
Right?
glass.
Beautiful volcanic
I
glass.
was just wondering, like in that particular picture, like when you were talking about the deposits in it weren't like modified by anybody. And I was wondering almost if it was some sort of a crustaceans, you know? I mean, if you think about plate tectonics that, boom together and hit and build up and
Right.
make the landmass to begin with. I'm wondering, I mean, obviously there's got to be fossils and stuff in there. That's
Right.
pretty cool. Anyways,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just thought it was a cool article for folks like us. This next article by IFL Science is Planet 9 out there? Astronomers find evidence of massive object beyond Neptune's orbit. Neptune. Okay?
So far
So,
away.
yeah, it says we have discovered thousands of exoplanets in the last few decades, while the number of planets in the solar system has remained at 8. But our discovery of more might not yet be over. A team of researchers say they have found the strongest statistical evidence yet that Planet 9 is really out there.
I don't know that I've really studied on Planet 9.
Well, when I saw this
Going into
article,
that.
if I'm truthfully honest with you here, I'm just gonna stop sharing for a second. When I saw that article, my first thought was, are you sure it's a planet?
Yeah, sure it's not just another mothership.
A mothership?
Right?
Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, that's just like the advancements of Pluto and Aquarius. That's all I saw. Really, I
Right.
mean, the Pluto and Aquarius dispelling that Sag energy that we were just talking about with the flat earthers of, oh, look at this and this and this, and this is why I'm right,
Right.
and then, Pluto's coming, Hades, Pluto's coming into Aquarius of innovation and science and all the things and technology and
Right.
that telescope being up there, being able to
my
see light years away, so
Yeah.
far away.
He's talking about
And
the James Webb telescope for you guys.
that new one, yeah, is that what that's
Yeah,
called?
James Webb.
It's got some beautiful, there's coming up with some beautiful pictures for sure. But like to
Yeah.
be
You can go to
finding all that.
NASA's website and it'll show you the James Webb telescope. You can see all the pictures it's taken so far, but I'm pretty sure they're not showing us some pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then you think about like how with how much, okay, we all knew the whole alien talk was going to come up, right? With Pluto
Right.
moving back into Aquarius. We had a few dips of it, and that's, when the aliens, where they came up from, not the aliens that look like, I don't even remember it. They look like crusty cake or something, the pictures that they tried to show. Remember that, like last summer or something? But anyways, I'm just thinking about with how fast everything's moving and how you and I,
Oh yeah, the
in
speed.
5 years,
Oh yeah.
if we try to look in 5 years, the technology advancements are going to be like night and day.
Insane.
Us talking like this is not going to be us talking like
No,
this.
we'll be in hologram form, sitting in the same room, and they're almost there. Like I can show it to you. They're there.
Yeah.
The other thing about this huge planet on the edges of our solar system, for those of us that believe in the Anunnaki, this definitely could be the presence of Nibiru, the planet home of the Anunnaki, Nibiru. And I know someone out there caught it, and I caught it too. So we caught that together, and maybe this is them trying to soften us up.
That's awesome.
Because I think Nibiru has, instead of a horizontal kind of axis with the sun in the orbit, Nibiru's kind of goes parallel to that and has a 25,000 year ecliptical cycle around the sun, which is much different than ours. But it would explain what took them so long.
Right.
Back here.
Sorry, I was late. I
was late, you guys. Just be glad I made it.
I was busy at the Last Supper.
Right?
Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy. Just how fast everything's moving. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And for those of you that don't know, anytime a planetary body is discovered, a planet, so a planet, an asteroid, whatever is discovered, it has its own natal chart. And it has its own personality. So when you guys are wondering about, well, what gives Pluto this bad rap, right? What gives it the bad rap?
Pluto the right.
Right, exactly. Like when these characteristics, when was it in the 30s or 40s that it was found?
It was in the 40s, yeah.
Okay,
it was like 1940.
In 1940, and when it was found, that we did the Earth snapshot of its natal chart, and it has its own characteristics, which hence is Scorpio. And
the actual what she's expressing, which I love that you brought this up. The way that a planet gains those characteristics, like she's talking about, is that we look at the year of history and news that has gone on during the year. And in that year that the planet was discovered, those will become the traits of the planet. Yeah. And so in 1946, I think we had the atom bomb. That era.
Yeah.
Hiroshima,
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
It was Oppenheimer.
There was also it was like a brand new sexual revolution that was beginning. It was also the first discovery of DNA. So Scorpio.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that far back. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But that's how planets in Western astrology gain their reputations.
Yeah.
It's
you're seeing it in play, real time. This is what this looks like. Yes.
In play. Thank you for bringing that up.
Of course.
Because that's a really good explanation. I'm going to share the screen again, and we'll go to the next one. Are you having fun with this?
I am. I'm like, what's next? What's next? Show me.
From IFL Science, 4.4 billion year old piece of Earth is one of the oldest things we've ever found. This was 2 weeks ago by Tom Hale. Tom has been writing, ain't he? Tom has just been writing.
Wow.
Says we know that the Earth is about 4.54 billion years old, but trying to piece together the very earliest stages of its evolution is easier said than done. Luckily, science has had some help from a super blue speck of zircon dating back around 4.4 billion years, making it the oldest chunk of Earth to ever have been discovered. Though it's not the oldest thing we've ever found on the planet. The ancient crystal, Reiki folks, was found in the sticks of Western Australia at a remote rock outcrop called Jack Hills. In a 2014 study, scientists dated the discovery to 4.39 billion years old, give or take a few million years. In other words, they'd confirmed the oldest known geological material. Even before this research, zircons were known to be some of the oldest materials on Earth, though finding any older than 4.3 billion years old is extremely rare, making the Jack Hills find even that more significant. So I thought you would like that. Look at that piece of zircon.
That is gorgeous. That
Like,
wow,
why do I
wow.
not have this on my
That
hand?
that's like alien. That's so gorgeous. I love it.
Oh,
I
it's like a pendant to me.
yeah, it is. And I just looked at, so I was looking it up because zircon is one that I haven't really heard of. And
Look at this statement right underneath it. I'm going to
it's,
highlight it.
it's so small I can't on my
It
computer.
says,
But
"Who knew that the Earth's crust could look so pretty?"
yeah, yeah. What lies beneath,
My
right?
brain just went.
Yeah, yeah. So it says here durability for zircon. It's resistant to chemical attack and can
No
survive
kidding.
many geological events.
No
Huh.
kidding.
Funny, we were just talking about like Oppenheimer and whatever.
Right.
That's awesome. Comes in all different. It can come in all different colors: blue, red, yellow, orange, round,
Wait a second.
brown,
Wait a
green.
second. Stop. Pause.
Hmm.
Is this the alien stuff again?
That's almost what I just wondered. That's what I just said. Yeah, and
You
it's
said it? You read it?
I'm reading this, yes.
Oh my God. Read.
So, well, it doesn't say alien, right? But it does. Here's something that almost makes me think that, though, which is interesting. You mentioned it, refraction. Zircon has a high refraction and fire, and its double refraction causes double images of the facets.
In fact, for those of you that can see the picture here, if I zoom up, you can see the refraction in this cut piece that is like that much old. You see the lines that form this, it looks like a rounded out rhombus shape, but there's one on the top and then it goes to the second. And then you just see this like a hall of mirrors just going all the way down.
Well, yeah, but then you can see the dimensionality of it. You see the white drop.
Yeah, the white drop.
It's like you're drawing a 3D box basically. That is amazing. And it says that if you're lucky enough to have a piece, it doesn't say that, but I would say that, then definitely remove it before you sleep,
right?
And just,
Do you know how many times I've seen the geological stuff and I just want to get a Reiki person on here so that I can ask all the questions like, where do you put this?
What's funny is it says it's often confused with cubic zirconia because of its similar properties to a diamond. Yeah.
God, that's beautiful though.
Yes, it is. Thank you for showing me that.
Chemicals.
That is gorgeous.
Is there anything on the planet that is not affected by chemicals? Oh yeah, the crust. So if anything survives, the crust will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, look at this one. IFL Science. I finally gave up and just went to the website. It says, again, Maddie Chapman wrote this on December 9th, 2024. It says, unknown written language found on ancient stone tablet. Now, I'm not going to read this, okay? But I will talk about it with you. Wow. Because you know how I feel about AI.
I'm just feeling things right now. I don't even know what to say. Wow.
It says the characters resemble those in certain other ancient languages, but no exact match was found. If I come down and try to look at the timetable of this, it says late Bronze and early Iron Age. But I am one of those that is waiting. I am waiting for AI to translate all the scrolls, all the pieces of, because on one of these ancient tablets, we're going to find some answers about humanity.
Well, so yeah, and I mean, obviously the circle, the spiral, um, that's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
And it's, I mean, it's clearly letters. It's interesting that the spirals are there. And then you think about, like, I know you've seen it.
Right.
Through different places Earth, they've got the crop circles and all that
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
stuff. But have you seen those places in land to where it looks like a giant Thunderbird or the
Yeah.
giant spiral or
Oh, you're saying
whatever?
that they left their signature. They
Yes,
they left their
yes.
initials. They carved it on the tree.
But you know what I'm talking about, throughout the planet, like
Oh man,
Earth,
that's messed up,
you
dude.
see these pictures of these giant things in the ground that would have, or stones laid out in these
Right.
shapes that are for miles, and from the heavens you could see
Right.
them, and that's
You
how
can see them in
that's
southern
how they would
Chile.
call them in.
The tribes in middle to southern Chile have amazing inscriptions in the ground, and they have no clue how they got there. But they've
Yeah.
made them sacred sites, and I think they kind of are. Don't
Oh,
go in there with your Coke or your coffee.
right.
Just don't do it.
I want to share something with you. So you keep going. I mean, as far as that goes, I just think that that's incredibly
Isn't
awesome.
that incredible? Because I saw
And
that and I was like, hurry it up, AI, get your stuff
yeah.
together. And yes, to let everybody know, AI has been translating and nobody's been watching it except me.
I'm
I'm
ready to like get on it. Like, come on, let's go see this
like,
stuff.
hurry it up. And I think AI has been translating them for about 3 years, but the way AI works is they receive the data like Gemini, and
Hmm.
then they put everything into repetitious categories, which is Virgo. I have a Virgo Mercury. So, what they do, though, is over time, they see patterns in one language that match another one, that match another one. And they're able to establish and build entire alphabets this way. And
Hmm.
that's how they translate. And they just get better and better and better at it as they go. They've been doing it for about 3 years. Go.
The
Show
Virgo
me what you got.
analyticals, the analytics, yeah. And
They got
that's what I
it.
think, that's what I'm assuming it is too. I mean, what are they going to do? Take the multiple different interpretations of what AI says that the emerald tablets say, or
Oh, I know.
whatever, you put them together and it's like a common consensus. Um,
Right.
but
Mhm.
let me see. Maybe I don't know how you can get
Share.
this on your computer. It really was just a short. And the reason I showed it to you, because it has to do with, well, maybe I can look it up. I don't, yeah.
Yeah, if you look it up and then down at the bottom it says share, and
Yeah.
I'll pull up the net.
Uh,
I'll pull up the next one real quick,
mhm.
and I can talk about this real quick while you look it up. How about we
Okay.
work together?
Work it, girl.
All right. Let's see.
So loud.
This one by IFL Science, December 18th, 2024, written by, guess who? Tom Hale.
Mm.
It says Earth's magnetic North Pole officially has a new position. This is a really good map of the electromagnetic energy that moves around the Earth. Not sure if you guys know, but the electromagnetic field around Earth will affect our satellites. It will affect our cell phones, our GPS units, in aircraft, in freighters, in your vehicle, on your watch. So we geographers, we've been watching this forever. There is a regular timetable for when the magnetic poles shift. And it's just like a magnet where the magnet is moving and it begins to turn inside out. And then it'll go snap really fast because it is Uranus energy, magnets. And so it's curious that they're choosing now this part of the article here I found interesting. Let me read the first part and then I'll show you what I was talking about. Hoping to keep tabs on the magnetic North's wandering ways, the world magnetic model of 2025 has been released this week, revealing the latest official predicted placement of Earth's magnetic fields. Now, the other thing about the electromagnetic fields is this is what keeps us in perfect formation with the other planets around us. Without this electromagnetic field holding us in place, all the planets would just go crashing into the sun. But it keeps us spaced appropriately, from the sun, so that, thank God, we could receive seasons, so that, thank God, we can eat. Without seasons, it's really hard to eat. So, hoping to keep tabs on the magnetic North's wandering ways, the world magnetic model for 2025 has been released. It says this version will remain valid until late 2029, during which time we can expect to see the magnetic North Pole slowly edge further towards Russia. Earth's magnetic North Pole is different from the geographic North Pole. The latter, the so-called true North, directly points toward the geographic North Pole. This is all very confusing for people that don't study this stuff. But basically, yeah, they just set the map out, and this is kind of what it looks like. They're anticipating for things not really to change too much until 2029. And I would beg to differ, but that's an opinion. It is not fact. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is really cool. I love I think magnets are really the cure to a lot of medical things too. I don't know. That just came. Anyways, but I think that it was really interesting when you're talking about the geomagnetics and how that keeps the planet spaced. Because if you've ever had two magnets, you flip them, there's a point where they push each other off.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's really neat. I love it.
All right, so go ahead and show us what you were gonna.
Oh yeah, I don't know that
working? Are you still
so I was trying to get logged in to Instagram because I just shared it. I shared it to you in a message.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't have Instagram anymore.
No, I know. Here, let me just do it like this then, because this will be easier if I just send it to you. There we go. I hope. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if
it's just a little clip it. I don't know if we can attach it, but my computer was not allowing me to get on Instagram, but I just sent it.
The more we do this, y'all, the better we'll get at it. And one day we'll have one of those staffing people that does this for us. You're a lot better. You're a lot better at the computer stuff than I am. I'm telling you, having a business that is digital will force you to learn.
That's been a lot of this year for me. Was doing a lot of and working with AI and learning different softwares and stuff.
That's taking a second. Let me just go to the next one while it's being sent.
Why not?
My apologies, everyone, but like I said, we'll get better.
It may not even show.
Grace. Oh yeah, man. Check this out. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, you can see my screen. This was cool, man. Look at this. Another article from IFL Science written by Maddie Chapman, published October 1st, 2024. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
It glows in the dark.
Michael was just sending me a bunch of things like this. Yeah, the luminescence is.
It says, thanks to jeweler turned scientist Sophie Boons of the University of the West of England, The groundbreaking gemstone is the world's first single stone lab grown crystal that can glow in the dark. It was created as part of a years-long deep dive by the award-winning jewelry designer into the viability, limitations, and possible uses of experimentally grown crystals in contemporary jewelry. Her investigations also saw the creation of the first ruby ever to be grown from a ruby seed in a platinum ring made from industry waste products.
Wow.
Who is this lady, and why are we not paying her more money?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
All right,
goodness.
you're breaking up a little. I'm not sure what's going on. Might wanna. So here's the cool part. Here's the cool thing. When we look at something like this, and we're talking about jewelry, jewelry is actually ruled by Taurus. Taurus energy rules gemstones, all the gemstones. It don't matter. It is an earth property. When we talk about lab grown in some sense, this is a Uranus function because it's futuristic in its sensory thing. Where there's a scientist, there's a staff, we're all working on this thing together. But just the fact that now we have glow in the dark jewelry.
I love that.
Isn't it pretty?
Yes, it is gorgeous. But I've been seeing even more, and they becoming, if you've gone into a metaphysical store or anytime recently, you'll see that some of them have sections where they've got a case with all these crystals in there with black lights to illuminate, because there's a lot of them that naturally have a bioluminescence to it, I guess you would say, that glow in the dark. Yeah, definitely check it out. It's gorgeous. And Michael, my son, has been sending me just recently, I want to say it was yesterday, the day before, he just sent me a couple of reels with some of those glow in the dark stones that are just
crazy.
Very, very cool and very Taurian. You got to think Venus. Venus rules Taurus.
Yes, Venus rules Taurus.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my internet or what, but maybe it's still on its way.
Okay. Oh, it says my message got blocked. Okay, well, whatever.
We'll talk about that later.
Why are you blocking me? No. Anyways, well, basically what I was thinking about, and you were talking about the magnetics and stuff. So,
right.
And I just shared it on my Instagram story today, and it was actually a reel that I downloaded and was trying to share with you.
Instagram page, and you'll be able to see it there. No, I mean the audience.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the audience. Go to her Instagram page, and we'll put the link below this video.
Yeah.
For you to go do so that you can see what the F she's talking about.
Yeah, I posted it to my story today, but it was really cool. It was talking about sound vibration and levitation. And it was talking about the 3-ton stones having amplified stuff underneath it, lifting it up and making it levitate. And it had a pyramid, it was correlating, like if you think about the alien, for example, theory that the aliens had something to do with the pyramids and them being built. It's kind of really just interesting because those stones were massive. And we're talking about barely even having tools. I mean, yes, they had tools, but you're talking
energy. There is energy there in a way with the magnets, and they have tried. Well, I say try. The researchers are working on that where the magnets run the vehicles and the magnets run the aircraft, and everything pretty much energy based, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's insane because one of these dang scrolls and tablets has the instructions.
Yeah. And yes, and I really bet that there's a lot of healing as well of ailments, disease, and things like that that could be cured with the help of bioluminescence. It's funny, we were just talking about bioluminescence and magnets and frequencies from sound.
Right.
So it wouldn't surprise me if within this next few
There,
years, even if we
there's,
start seeing a lot of like healing centers and
yes,
things that have to do with this topic that we're talking about,
right,
crystal healing, sound, vibrational
vibration,
healing,
frequencies, yeah,
and going into just specific rooms with lights at certain luminance
right.
that
It's
shine
almost like
bright
we had all the tools right in front of our face.
the whole time.
The whole freaking
Mm. Very
um
cool. Almost full circle, that little conversation
yeah,
right
it
there.
is, right. Like, I'm loving it. Let me get to the next article by IFL Science, published September 23rd, 2024, written by Francesca Benson. It says, what are the piezoelectric crystals and how do they work? So it says, we've found a lot of ways to make use of this strange property of certain crystals, but the most important effects were here long before us. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Look at that. It says piezoelectric, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, crystals have recently been identified as being the cause of a natural phenomenon that has shaped the rise and fall of civilizations.
Oh, I
There are
bet.
also frequent efforts to find socially useful applications for it. Yeah, although many of these have ended up as curiosities. So, this was a really cool article about crystals behaving in a certain way. And when I look at articles like this, Heather, I swear to God, the naysayers, the people out there that say that we're all full of frou-frou, right? The ones that want to question what it is that we're doing. When I pull up an article like this and I can back it with science, this is like using an authority higher than myself
Yeah.
to kind of stand here and say, I don't think I'm the one that's delusional.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
sure a whole lot of people felt that.
You got to realize these kind of things too. I mean, if you go back into ancient history, they didn't have smartphones, they didn't have computers or a TV, or maybe not even paper to write on, right? Nothing, no pen or pencil, or so they had tools, and then they had the earth to deal with, right? So crystal and crystal healing and using crystals for different things is a lot older than anybody alive. Today, or even alive 300 years ago, is thousands and thousands and thousands of year old. So I love that you're finding all these articles about it that speak to the science of metaphysics.
Yeah. You can't run from the science. And I bet you there's a whole bunch of scientists out there. If you meet like a true scientist, you're hanging out with them in like a room full of scientists, they have more questions than they do answers.
Oh, yeah.
That's number one. Number two, because they still have questions, it only proves that we don't have all the answers. So when folks get into a fixed mindset over absolute black and white, I think in part they can get a little left behind, a little out of step, because I agree with Heather. In 5 years, our worlds are going nothing like we've got right now. It's not going to look even close. It's probably and I'm also one of those people that when they start selling robots, I'm going to be like the first person in line because I am not vacuuming anymore. That is not going to be.
And I'm not just talking a Roomba. We grew up with the promise of the Jetsons. We're gonna
right. The promise of the Jetsons
and the go gadget watch is already here.
Yes, Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
They promised. We need to deliver. But let me get to the next one, because this one is classic. This is one for the books. This is one that's going to go in our.
I'm going to say something silly before we do though.
Yeah, no.
Because it kind of added on, like when you showed me that picture and I was listening to you talk about the article. I'm going to go a little left here. You're going to see the weird Heather. So okay. So I have a movie recommendation for those that aren't necessarily faint of heart or easily offended, because it is quite the silly rated R, plenty of F-bombs and all the crazy stuff.
Right.
Watch the movie with Will Ferrell, Land of the Lost. Okay.
I've seen it.
You've seen it. So you're thinking about getting thrown into that real weird world with the T-Rex. Right. And then all of a sudden you got the aliens, and where are they at? They're in all the little crystal. They're protected by the crystals. And so anyways, like I was seeing that scene with the alien and Will Ferrell, like, and they're at the crystals with all, sorry. Right. Yeah. No, so
I think they've been showing it to us all along.
They have been showing it to us forever. Gosh. And yeah, I'm not going to go politics, but the fact that all these weird things are like coming out, and our re-elected president is going to be, he's got all these questions. He's so Gemini, and he's like wanting to know all the stuff and wanting to release all the stuff. And I'm just like, I'm excited about that part because I'm like, let us know more.
If we remember America's chart, and this is probably why a lot of the other countries, may turn their nose up at us. But in America's chart, we have an Aquarius moon, but we have a Mars Gemini in the 7th. So we're very nosy about everything.
That's true.
TikTok and this swipe thing, that was invented by us. We just need 2 seconds and then we're on to the next thing. Any kind of, notice that, like the timeline in America, if there's like a huge taboo thing that breaks the news, it lasts about 2 weeks. It's like we're in middle school. Okay. Yeah. It's like we're in middle school. Let me share this next one, because I think this is one, and then we'll have one more and then we'll be done. But this one is near and dear to my heart. I love you.
What are you about to show me?
That are Scorpio, if you are a Scorpio, please watch this closely. This is by UC Davis here.
I'm sorry. I just saw the title.
It says carnivorous squirrels documented in California. We have the first evidence of ground squirrels hunting and eating voles in the Bay Area. The squirrels have officially become carnivores.
Wow.
Look at that nonsense.
Wow.
This was found in Contra Costa County. Oh my goodness. A study from UC Davis and the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire was the first to document widespread carnivorous feeding of voles, which is an animal, by squirrels. A ground squirrel with cheeks stuffed with nuts, seeds, or grains is a common sight. But a new study provides the first evidence that California ground squirrels also hunt, kill, and eat voles. That's all I got to say about that.
Wow.
Look at that. I hope all my Scorpios out there are watching this.
Man, that's Mars. Whoa. Yeah, Mars, Pluto.
So the squirrels are now eating meat. And people are worried about zombies. And I think it's a little more closer to home.
Man, ecological, but then so like the ecological part of it is just crazy. Like all the changes that are.
People don't believe in evolution. Who are you?
Oh
Where are
my
you at?
goodness. My thought is like, what prompted this? Did he, like was there just a family out in the backyard having a barbecue and one of them chucked a drumstick and the squirrel was like, I'm kind of, ooh, I want my own. Or did it go by a little resting pond that had some pharmaceuticals that like dissolved in the water in the sewer system and it got into it? It's getting crazy. Wow. What prompted this? What is he on?
What just happened?
Squirrels gone rogue. Squirrels gone wild.
I mean, my thing was zombies. Who the F cares? Squirrels make babies like rabbits.
Yeah.
And if this is where we're headed in our future, then I don't know if I want to be a part of it. Look at those pictures, man.
Wow. Like that just makes me wonder what's changed in their DNA that's caused them to become carnivores, and then you'd have to worry about how
fat this dude is. No ears. Look at this picture.
You probably had another one to eat them off if they
thinking, hey, Harry, quit chewing on my ears.
Right.
I am not the hunt. Oh my God. They're smiling at it. I don't know if anybody in California is.
And then it jumps on its face. Oh my gosh. And then you think about people in their homes. They get mice, they get vermin, squirrels will try to get into the attic, and you'll notice a piece of your eave gets a gnawing on it, and before you know it,
they jump on the windows.
Before you know it, you got squirrels in your house eating your pet bird.
On the window, just laid out on the window with their teeth scratching on the glass.
Set a pork chop out on the counter to thaw out for dinner, and you get in there, it's gone. There's a squirrel.
And you don't forget to feed the squirrel.
Wow. That is insane.
Here in the Bay Area Regional Park in California, I don't know where this, then please watch for the squirrels.
Well, Bay Area. I mean, it was San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah, Bay
What
Area.
What do to your squirrels?
That's what I was saying. Was it in the water supply? Was there like, because they say our water supply, people flush stuff down the toilet, don't throw things away properly, and pharmaceuticals and all kinds of things go through and end up getting in the groundwater. And
so you're gonna have like a vulture or a hawk catch an animal, and the squirrel's gonna fight to the death.
Oh wow, yeah.
In the trees.
I'd watch that. Sorry, that's my Aquarius moon. I'd watch that.
Oh yes. This one. This is an article by MoneyWise by Von Himmelsbach, updated December 5th, 2024. I'm on the website moneywise.com. I saw this article and I was like, oh, Heather and I need to talk about this. The title of the article says, "It's like a utopia. Young people in China are escaping the rat race by fleeing to youth retirement villages, mirroring quiet quitting in America. Are young adults being pushed too hard?"
Heck yeah.
Now, as I read this title, I had
love it.
a variety of zodiac energies just run through my head. So we have the utopia, and that's Pisces energy.
Yeah.
Right? We have China, which is a Capricorn Libra moon.
I was going to go there with you. 3-degree Aquarius moon, just like me. And
but I know they're Libras. China is a Libra. Mm-hmm. They have Libra prominent in China's chart. They're escaping Pisces, the rat race, Capricorn, by fleeing What would that be? Fleeing.
Oh, sorry. My brain was thinking about something else to say too. And fleeing, I
By
mean,
fleeing,
motion, it's
Aries,
Martian. It's
right?
Martian. Yeah, it's Aries.
Aries. To youth retirement villages. So we have two energies there. We have Cancer,
Leo.
Leo, and Capricorn.
Yeah.
Youth would be Leo, retirement would be Capricorn, villages would be Aquarius.
Yeah.
But it mirroring quiet quitting, quiet quitting. So
The Great
here's my question.
Resignation. Yeah.
You know, you and I grew up, we're Gen Z. We are the Pluto in Libra generation. Pluto has, they're a generational planetary size just because they take so long to get all the way around the sun. When did, we're Gen Z. Like, why didn't we think of this? I'm a little envious, to be honest with you. Like, you guys are just going to quit working and go live in a retirement village that y'all built for yourselves? Like,
we were
what?
feeling it. We were feeling it, and our kids are just doing it.
I'm going to read this real quick. American millennials aren't the only ones trying to escape the rat race. In
Right.
China, young people are headed to youth retirement villages, whether for a weekend, a few weeks, or much longer. These countryside retreats are havens for young adults looking for a break and a chance to improve their mental health. China's stagnating economy has made the job market overwhelmingly competitive for students entering the workforce. Young workers often face long commutes, long shifts, and the relentlessness churn of work. They're working hard, yet still can't achieve their life goals. Sound familiar? In a country where many young people are pushed to overachieve, there's now some pushback against that expectation. Virgo is expectation. Su Kong, a 29-year-old worker from Beijing, tells the Los Angeles Times that the Guyana Youth Retirement Village is like a utopia. Kong lives at Guanye, working remotely and setting his own schedule while taking part in organized activities, which include painting, hiking, horseback riding. All that for the equivalent of about $420 a month for room and board, less than his rent. Other youth retirement villages have popped up around the country where young people can go for morning strolls, play mahjong in the garden, and do arts and crafts. Some residents are long-term remote workers, while others are short-term guests. And some stay on as a volunteer, doing chores for free room and board. Look at this craziness. I want to see pictures, if I'm honest. I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to go find pictures of this place.
So I'm having a whole nother thought as you're saying all of this. And I was wrong. They're not Aquarius moon, 3-degree Aquarius rising.
Oh, they have a rising.
Yes. So we're adding into what you're talking about. I would say to expect China to be having a massive revolution, and definitely it's all in the favor of the common people. Okay?
Right.
Because I mean, that's what Aquarius is, the common people. But Pluto is going to be, if you think about hitting Pluto's going to be crossing their ascendant as a country. So every country has a birth chart and their Aquarius rising at 3 degrees. Come around May into June, maybe the end of April, May into June of 2025, Pluto is going to be hitting their ascendant. And that's going to be activated. It's basically going to activate their revolutionary energies as a country. It's going to unearth a bunch of ugly secrets that the people have been holding power over the others. And it's going to form a sextile down to the North Node in Pisces, Saturn, and I'm sorry, I said Saturn. I did mean Saturn, but I meant Neptune and Saturn both. Okay. So at that point, they're going to be I guess Saturn's going to be at the hind end of Pisces, and by then Neptune will be in Aries at
Yeah.
that point. But that sextile down to that energy definitely rules in favor of exactly what you're showing me becoming the norm over there, and them
Yeah.
them liberating themselves. And I just think that that's beautiful. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to add that in there. Sorry, I was
No.
excited that you brought them up.
Notice the spirituality connection.
100%.
Recognizing it, acknowledging that humans have a spiritual core along their alongside their physical, teaching. Now, you know what? In my head, when I think about a spiritual center, which we've talked about as a long-term goal,
Yeah.
this is kind of what it looks like. If I'm honest, I
Yeah.
think
It's very communal life for sure.
Yeah, Pluto and Aquarius is going to do this sort of thing, and not all Pluto transits are bad or negative in a sense.
Mhm.
This is one of the positives here, and I think it's cool as coolness
And
because we
yeah.
need these all over the country.
Yeah, and I mean, just with for sure, and we're going to be seeing it. I mean, with what I just mentioned, the Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries. I mean, Neptune's been in Pisces, but at these high degrees,
Yeah,
everybody's right there. And with that North Node, just a couple days ago, moving into Pisces, this is going to be probably like 18 to 24-month trek.
right. Can I tell you, just as a personal thing, I grew up all through my childhood and my adolescence and my 20s and some of my 30s. I grew up in or around many gathered communities that were built like this.
Wow.
I look at this and it reminds me of home.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's now some of them were like a rehab center. Most of them were, but still the same. The concept is the same. They get grounded, they get centered, they fill their hearts with emotion together as a unit, which is important because what's inside of our container is spirit, is life. And to connect to that reminds us that we are half human and half of a spirit.
Yeah, and you know that makes me think, Miriam, about AI, and you know how everybody's like AI is going to take our jobs. Well, I mean, we will. If that's the case, then that's the case. Guess what's going to happen? That's what's going to happen. You're going to end up having more time to create, having more time to find out who the hell you are and what it is you want to explore in your life, right?
Absolutely.
So it definitely does
water and fertilize the field.
Yeah, that spirituality is
for us.
Gorgeous.
I think this work is much more important. It creates more of a civilized nature in humankind, less of an animalistic, and it raises that vibrant frequency higher because the whole goal is to balance both the flesh and the spirit together.
Yeah.
It has to remain merged, but to also get to a civilized point where we can be invited to the galactic federal nations.
Right.
We can start to interact with the rest of our solar system and universes and galaxies, but it also means that we'll treat each other better.
That's what we need. We need a whole lot of that. Definitely.
We need a whole lot of love.
Yeah.
And we need a love of life. You know, in my personal journey, I have a serious attachment to suicide. It is a problem which I have a plan for, and I've worked very hard to get that plan into place and discipline into place. And something in my chart, there is a point that says I must create a will to live. And oftentimes that runs through my brain 2 or 3 times a day, where I have to create a will of life. And I have to remind myself of all those, and it's small. These things are dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I love my truck. I love my truck. I love my dog. I love eating this meal. People say it's gratitude, but the truth is it's my connection to this place.
Yeah, you're talking about Pluto North Node, first house, right?
That's me. Conjunct the moon in Libra.
Yeah.
And my relation, my relatability to everything and everyone around me, I must pull from that and say, I really enjoy my time with Heather. And that's a reason to stay.
Yeah.
You know, that's
keep
one.
Keep counting the reasons. Keep counting the reasons.
How'd you like this? You like it?
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was different. Like you definitely told me that you were not going to give me a heads up, and we didn't. We just got right into it. And she's like, "This is that." So, like, I really do love, how we can talk about anything, everything, and be able to label the energy behind it, and
to see it. It's in front of us. We touch it and interact with it every moment we breathe.
Yeah, and you as our audience, we would love it if you would participate.
And we would like to hear your comments and how you feel about this.
Yeah, what what would you like to see us explore on a little more? Because we've got tons of I
ain't doing nothing illegal. So y'all just need to sit down, Capricorn. Sit down. Get the word.
Yeah. Well, but it's the correlations that have helped just make sense of life.
Yeah.
Or make sense of
each other.
That's huge, because you posted, Miriam posted on TikTok this week a couple of really great videos, and I would recommend you check them out. But the one about grace, because there's so many things that are triggering, and when you can get to the point to where you can identify things within, like if something irks you with a family member or a roommate or a friend, and you don't know how to deal with it, to come at it because you don't necessarily understand it. Well, when you can look at it and be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just giving this, so don't take it personally. Let me just say Scorpio, right? Pluto, that's suspicion. So let's say you're always suspicious of somebody. You can name that as an energy of being plutonic. That's Pluto. So maybe that person has a lot of Pluto in their chart if they're constantly thinking this and that and the other thing.
From like a past life where this was a really big issue.
Yeah, and they have no idea.
If I told you that, then you would go, oh, that's a karmic thing for them. Well, I see that they're trying to work on it. I don't want to interrupt.
Right.
I'll just come back here and let it do what it needs to do, because it's plutonic.
Yeah, and try not to be too Virgoan with the expectations and the judgments. So those are different things. And I'm a Virgo, so I'll say expectations and judgments. I used to be a judgy person, right? But it learning those things and tying it back and remembering to hold some grace.
Yeah.
Both for yourself and for the person and situation that you're dealing with. So I wanted, because that one about grace was really beautiful. And I want to thank you for sharing that, because it's a great reminder, that everybody needs some grace sometimes.
Everybody needs some grace. Yeah. It's easier if you know why. Everybody walks around right now and says, everybody's going through something, man.
That's right.
But what if I could tell you what it was they were going through? You might listen a little differently. You might watch a little differently, handle a little differently. And that's what we're doing here. We want your world to be relatable to this information, because this information is the future. So
that's right.
With us. Stay with us. Heather and I are going to go through so many topics and information that you're going to need I know that we're joking around and so on and so forth, but this is education as well. So take it seriously.
Yeah. We're basically doing it at all knowledge levels of
Yeah.
astrology. If you've watched throughout the videos that we have here on Real World Astrology Podcast, it's gradually going through so that we can touch on everything, and we do our best to try to make it relatable. So just like today, you throwing me into these news stories and, hey, what energy is that? What energy is that?
My moon's in the first house, man. I just do what I want.
I know. I know it. And
okay.
it
turns out fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So I would ask our viewers, listeners, to give yourself some grace to explore the possibilities and start playing with those archetypal energies. If you're not for sure about it, get a book, look on the internet. What does Aries energy look like?
Right. In fact, you can plug it into the Copilot or Chat GPT and it'll give you the answer. In a nice little summary.
And if you look over on my YouTube channel, Woke.Ones.Revolution, right at the very beginning of my channel, there's a couple of folders that talk specifically about the signs and their archetypes and the houses and kind of what they mean. And it'll help make sense of some things. And,
it'll help you read your chart better too.
And I know Miriam's working on some
modules, teaching modules.
Modules,
those are only for my patrons.
Yeah,
it's $7 a month,
cheap,
and it's very, very cheap. And I did it like that on purpose because I think information should be free.
Yeah,
and that's it. And
however, all this cool technology, like our little aquarium under the ocean background that she does, it all costs money. So 7 is extremely fair for all the subscriptions she had, software she has to purchase.
I do because as the moon moves, Miriam has instant moments of. So anyway, enough about us. Tell us about you, and don't forget to come back next time. Because yes, we have more, and we love sitting with you. We love
so much more. Well, thanks for stopping by again.
Don't forget to share.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And we will say bye-bye.
Bye, guys.